Hello, everyone. I am glad you are here and welcome. Welcome on this Wednesday night. I'm pretty pumped, and you probably know why, but let me get to my intro and let me make sure everything is working, looking, and sounding good. Well, I know I look good, but making sure everything is sounding good. I think we are good. All right. Hey, everyone. I am Canuck Clay. I am the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary, my live stream, my weekly Wednesday night live stream for January the 26th. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. And I am so glad that you guys are all here. I'm going to do an abbreviated introduction tonight. By the 10-minute mark, I want to get into all of your questions. We'll go hard for 20 minutes with your questions. And then, yes, as I've put in the title, as you can see on the screen, I'm so thrilled that I'm having a guest live tonight. And it is Trevor Lai, creator of the pretty sick Lunar New Year jerseys that the Canucks were sporting last night during warm-up. And they were sold out right away. But I'll let Trevor talk about it when he comes on. So once again, he will be coming on the stream at around 10:30. At least that's the plan as of 20 minutes ago. So I will get to your questions. You're welcome to talk to each other, but I'm not going to read any of your comments or questions yet. I want to do my intro for the next 8 or 10 minutes. And then by the 10-minute mark, I'll throw to you for questions, Canucks and hockey related. And then we'll go with Trevor tonight. Yes, and I'm thrilled that he is joining. So let me get through my intro first. First off, moderators, thank you in advance. Don't know how busy you're going to be. You never know. But I appreciate you. If it's sexist, homophobic, racist, or ableist, or in another language, delete it. If you're not sure, as I always say, leave it for another moderator to worry about. So thank you, moderators, in advance. Thank you to my sponsors, Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. You can sign up now for a free 7-day trial. Use the link in my video descriptions, performandtransform.ca/CanuckClay. Yes, Justin, we're going to take questions from the audience as well. And hello, Steve. Hello to everyone. Okay, I better keep going here. Okay, so thanks to Perform and Transform. Thank you to Van City Experts Real Estate Group. That's Jason Lim and his team. I went to the game with Jason last night, had a lot of fun. And I know Jason's been such a big supporter. And he was actually how I got connected with Trevor. Jason knows Trevor and introduced me to Trevor. I actually met Trevor last night. I think I've met Trevor once before, but I will quiz him when I have him on in about half an hour. So thank you to Perform Transform. Thank you to Van City Experts. Thank you to GassyJackArt.com, makers of the wonderful artwork, and thank you to Monkey 9 Brewing, my eternal sponsor. Shout out to my legends, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Justin Credible, legendary Andrew Chang, hero members nucksfan number 29, and Carol Bovenlander, Hall of Fame members Jens95, simalexander, Chris Seifried, Adam Broomfield, Shannon Hollingworth, Hsmfangirl Gaming, smoovegroove, and Funk. Many of you guys are here tonight, and also to franchise and all-star members as well. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this during my videos on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Hall of Fame, hero, legend. I'll be emailing you on Friday to sign up for the January one-on-one chats. Yes, that's a perk of being at least a Hall of Fame member. I'll send that out later in the week, and I'm looking at doing this Sunday night, this Sunday all day, and then a couple days next week for those of you that can't make the Sunday. Okay, finally, no matter where you're watching from, whether you're in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the Lower Mainland city, province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. You know how much I do not take you for granted. You know how much I appreciate your loyalty. And you know that you could be watching anyone else, doing anything else. But the fact that you are here with me tonight means a lot to me. And I just realized that my stream's a little bit choppy tonight, but it's too bad because I thought I had it all ready to go. But we will survive tonight, and I will figure it out for next time for sure. But again, grateful that you are here. And really appreciate that you are here as always. So, like this video, like the fact that we're together, like the fact that the Canucks are playing really hard despite being shorthanded, like the fact that Spencer Martin is amazing, like the fact that the Canucks hired a new GM, and like the fact that I'm bringing Trevor Lai on to chat in a few minutes, in about 25 minutes, I should say. Okay, I want to talk about Patrik Allvin. I want to talk about Patrick Allvin. Put in the chat where you're watching from tonight, where you're coming from. So I want to talk about Patrick Allvin first, and then I want to talk about Patrick Allvin, and then at the very end, at the 10-minute mark, I want to put up a slide recognizing a few special members. I think Justin knows where I'm going to go with that, but I'll bring that up in a second. I'll bring that up in about 4.5 minutes. Okay, really quickly, Patrick Allvin. You know, it's funny. The news broke yesterday when I was at the game with Jason, and then I didn't get a chance to vlog about it till late last night. Yet it's my second most watched video in the past 2 weeks. My 3 most watched videos in the past 2 weeks are Canucks hiring Rachel Dory, the Canucks hiring Patrick Allvin, and the Canucks hiring Emily Castonguay. So obviously people are pretty excited about the way that the Vancouver Canucks are starting to build out their front office, the way that Jim Rutherford is starting to build out that front office. So that's good. That's a good thing for sure. And I think there's obviously a lot of interest among Canucks fans out there. So I don't want to rehash my entire vlog from earlier today, but here are the main points. Patrick Allvin, 19 years in pro hockey, the first 4 years as a Montreal Canadiens European-based scout. Now, then the next after that, completely in the Pittsburgh Penguins organization, including the assistant GM for the past 4 or 5 years after starting off as a European-based scout for Pittsburgh. Became the assistant GM to Jim Rutherford's GM for about 5 years. Was actually the GM for 2 weeks, the interim GM after Rutherford left in January 2021, but before they hired Ron Hextall in February 2021. So Patrick Allvin was already a GM, a full-fledged GM, albeit for only 2 weeks. 47 years old, just like me. So obviously 47 years old, people are smart, they're good looking, and they love the Canucks. So 3 things, and maybe not a lot of hair. Me and Patrick Allvin have that in common as well. And I think a couple other things we need to know about him is he's the first Swedish-born GM, second European GM behind that guy from Columbus whose name I can barely say, and Jarmo Kakulainen. He was from Finland, and then Allvin's from Sweden. Had a good press conference today. Talked about, his respect for the Sedins. Talked about now how excited he is to be here. Love for the city. Looking forward to the diverse team that Jim Rutherford is building. Rachel Dory in analytics. Derek Clancy, former Pittsburgh guy. Emily Castonguay, and now, of course, Allvin leading up that team. Maybe Rutherford hires one more assistant GM, Rutherford also said that they're going to have to really look at making some tough decisions because it's not a great place to be. It's not a great place to be when you're up against the cap, yet you're not a playoff team. So perhaps there will be some big changes this season at the trade deadline. And Funk you. Allvin looks like Tim McAuliffe. That's a good point, actually, from Tim and Sid. That's a really, really good point. A couple other things about Allvin real quick. How he's going to fit in. It's really interesting. Derek Clancy, who was the first AGM named, he's a player personnel guy. So once you get the guy, how do we develop them? Amateur, AHL, and of course, your players. Emily Castonguay is more contracts, salary cap, CBA, really smart that way. And then you have, that's Emily. And then you have Allvin now, who's going to be in charge of them, really with a good scouting background. So you have kind of all 3. You have Allvin as a scout, background scouting. You have Derek Clancy in the way that he develops players, and you have Emily working with all the numbers and making all of that work. So I think it's a really good, diverse, and very, very complimentary team, which is a cool thing. Silas says, saw you on the Jumbotron last night and on the TV the other day. You're rocking. Well, I don't know, but got to represent the GLCPC, of course. Okay, one other thing that I wanted to share. For those of you that are members, you know that right beside your name, you have a little icon that Jacob made for me that shows how long you've been a member. Well, I launched memberships on January 25th, 2021. So it's been exactly a year. And therefore, a bunch of you, now you will see a brand new banner, a brand new, I should say, emoji, not even emoji, a badge is the proper term, that has a 12 beside it. So I want to congratulate these 1-year members. So these people joined up on the very first day or the very second day, because it was either January 25th or January 26th of 2021. So these 8 members are actually part of the 1 year club. And I know many of you might be close, but it's really, really cool. It's really, really cool. So I want to recognize these people by name. So we have all 3 legends actually are part of the 1 year club. And so, and it was actually Justin who messaged me, or he left a comment saying, oh, I noticed the 12 now. So I want to thank Justin, Andrew, and Lucas for not only being legendary members, the highest tier, but also for being there from the very start. I guess that makes sense, right? Intuitively, it makes sense that the legends have been there from the very start because they are among the most invested in this channel and in me. So thank you again, Justin, Andrew, and Lucas. And then for nucksfan number 29, thank you. He's a hero member. So he's been here since the very start. Then Jens95, who's an awesome YouTuber. I've actually never interacted with her. She doesn't do any of the one-on-one perks, but I'm so supportive for her. She was actually the very first person to sign up and the very first comment. And then, I always start off, hey, Canucks fans, blah, blah, blah. Her very first comment on my very first video about membership says, you had me at hey. So that was kind of cool. So thank you to Jens95. Also, another Hall of Fame member, Simalexander. Alexander has been around since the very start as well, which is pretty cool. And then Jarhead, 0099. He's a franchise member since the very start, for a year now. And of course, my Canucks After Dark partner in crime, Parker. We support each other via memberships on each other's channels as well. So again, Justin, Andrew, Lucas, nucksfan number 29, Jens95, Sim Alexander, Jarhead, and Parker's Pucks. Thanks to all of you for being part of the 12-month club, the 1 year club. And now when you make a comment, you see that your badge has a nice little 12 on it. That's pretty cool. I'm up to 56 members now, and that includes 3 legends, 2 heroes, 8 Hall of Fames, 10 franchise, and 30 whatever all-stars. So a really nice mix between the 3. So between the 5. So thank you very much. No, I will not make a Discord. I already have enough stuff that wastes my time. Not that this wastes my time, but I won't do Discord. I won't do Snapchat. I won't do TikTok. I'm pretty old school. So YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All right, let's go to your questions for the next 20 minutes before I bring Trevor on. And thanks to everyone for being here once again. And I think this will go up as the views will go up as we get closer to 10:30. Fangirl, which player is Allvin most likely to trade? Well, if you're looking at making room under their salary cap, there are a lot of players that fall under that category, and they all have different contract situations. Everyone from Hamonic to Pullman to Myers to Pearson to Halak to Mott to Dickinson. So there's at least 7 guys there and that's not even talking about JT Miller, who a lot of people are talking about. So that's 7 or 8 guys that you could build a case, an argument for trading any one of those guys. Obviously easier said than done, and it really depends on what Allvin and Rutherford see as the vision for this team. No, Marcus, it's great. You save your money, and when you're pulling the big bucks, then you upgrade as much as you want to. Jasker, are you worried that Allvin might trade everyone when he meant sell? He even said a whole new team. I did not hear the whole new team, but no, I'm not worried that he's gonna completely trade everyone, because we do have a really good core here. That's why Rachel Dory, that's why Emily Castonguay, that's why Patrick Allvin wanted to come here, because they see that we have some building blocks in Demko, Hughes, Petey, Brock, Horvat. There's at least 5 guys there that you can consider the core of the team. 6. So Clay, is the mod special jersey redraw happening tonight? No, it's not. Seek. I haven't even told Jason about your email yet. So no, I will take care of that another time, or figure out a way to do that. But yes, I will address that soon. Everyone would love it. Oh, if I had a Discord, I don't know. I think love's a strong word, NHL Canucks. Trevor, JT Miller and recently Besser be named in trade talks. How likely is it they'll be traded? Well, you look at Miller, Besser, and Horvat. They're all going to need new contracts. They're all going to want between $7 and $8 million bucks. You can't pay $21 to $24 million for only 3 guys. So we're going to have to see what happens. I don't think there's any rush to trade JT Miller, but whoever, you're going to demand quite a bit for him if you want to trade him, because he's such a good salary, $5.25 million for this season and next season. So he's not even a rental for this season. How likely will that they actually be traded? That's so tough to say. I think of the 3, I don't know, Besser could fetch you a lot too, even though he's due for a new contract. It's so tough to say. I think Horvat's probably the safest of those 3. We'll see. VL, if the Canucks are in a playoff spot at the deadline, would you still trade Miller for the right package? If they're in a playoff spot, no, you keep Miller, because there's no need to trade him this season. Because if you're in a playoff spot, he's obviously the type of player you want in the playoffs. That's why other teams want him. So no, I don't trade Miller if we're in a playoff spot. Jason, all the members, get your fellow Canucks fans in here. Trevor and Clay are probably 2 of the biggest fans I know. Oh, thank you, Jason. Yeah, it's climbing. It's climbing, and it will continue to climb. But Wednesdays are always a little bit smaller than Sunday, but that's okay. This will be up on my channel afterwards that people can watch afterwards as well. Well, I wish my camera wasn't choppy today, and I had it fully charged. I think it's the cable I'm using is a bad cable, but I will figure that out for next time. Kel says Rutherford is, hello Andy, Rutherford is going to trade Pearson again. We will see. He's got no movement this year. Are they going to sell the New Year's jerseys? I think we could talk to Trevor about that when he comes on. I don't know, actually. I don't know. I think he'll have a better idea for sure. Thoughts on the refs in the Oilers game? Yeah, I thought they gave McDavid the benefit of the doubt, just like the chair umpire gave Rafael Nadal a bit of a benefit of the doubt. But there's a reputation calls, but he's also earned those as well. Yeah, it's too bad, because even though the Canucks killed off all 3 of the Oilers penalties, the second Oilers goal, which ended up to be the game winner, came at the tail end of a Oilers power play. So they didn't score on the power play per se, but they scored right afterwards. Dickinson and a 7th for futures. Okay, so Dickinson had a tough game yesterday. He was indeed a -3. Petter Hughes, there's a debate on Twitter on either trading Besser or Miller. Who would you trade? I think you get more for... I keep saying you'll get more for Miller given his contract situation, but Besser is a lot younger. Yeah, gosh. If I had to keep one, though, I would actually keep Miller if it was up to me. I think he's more versatile than Besser. Although Besser he's still got a lot of good years ahead of him. Jasper, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you trust Alvin as GM? I don't know a lot about him, but I'd say 7 or 8. I have no reason not to trust him yet. Bruce, I heard JR say that a team that isn't a playoff should be close to the top of the cap. Yes, I mentioned that, Bruce. So it looks like high-priced players gone for draft picks. I think they're going to leave no stone unturned for sure. For sure. We need defense. Yeah, start with trading Pullman and Dickinson. Well, Pullman is a defenseman, but yes, Pullman, Hamonic, and Shen all kind of fulfill the same role. And if you can get guys like Shen for a couple $1 million cheaper than Pullman and Hamonic, that's what we should be trying to do. Fillmore, do you think the Canucks should trade with losing teams with draft picks and prospects ahead instead of playoff teams? Yeah, because your draft pick is going to be higher if you trade with a team that's lower in the standings. But a team that's lower in the standings will not be going after JT Miller. They will not be higher bidders because they know that they're going to have a higher draft pick. It'll be a team that's going to the playoffs who want JT Miller for a playoff run. Trevor, do you think we will save money re-signing Besser? Yeah, I know you can negotiate outside of the qualifying offer, but his qualifying offer has to start at 7.5 because he was done under the old rules. So I think you do want to try and negotiate with him before that. Yeah, go ahead. Ask Parker. Parker already has a Discord at NHL Canucks. Marcus, if Boston likes Miller as per the rumors, thoughts on return of DeBrusk first and another prospect? Certainly, Marcus. I think that's fair because I heard Frank Cervelli say it should be more than a first and a prospect. So now you're having a first, a prospect, and a potential top 6 player. So I listen to that for sure. Brian says he doesn't think they should trade Miller. Jaskrin, as time goes on, sounds like JT Miller will definitely get traded. Perhaps. Yep. Funk you. Good question, Trevor. I've been meaning to ask that. Oh, about Besser, Marcus. What would we even get for Puma and Del Zotto? If we got Del Zotto, I think we should do it, Marcus, just for you. Fillmore, feel frustrating how Jimbo and company handle things over the years for things to be like this. Yeah, I actually wonder what Rutherford and Alvin thought when they first came in and saw our situation for sure. Fangirl, I wasn't surprised that it came at 8 a.m. because the news was breaking already last night. Seek, if we gather 4 picks in the first 2 rounds this year, would you entertain trading one of those picks for a prospect needing a change of scenery? Yeah, picks are currency for sure. So I think if you find a prospect that you think is going to pan out, better chance than a first round pick, and you have 2 first round picks, I obviously you want to trade the lower of the 2, but maybe you look at that. I think that's fair. RJ, as much as I love Besser, I see him not being in the fold because based on his play, he hasn't been the same since his injuries. Yeah, he hasn't been the most consistent for sure. Sick, does it still hurt that Trevor Linden chose Jimbo over as GM over Gilman? Yeah, I wonder how the team would be different if we had Gilman instead as the GM. No problem, Shannon. Nice to see you. Marcus, if we need more speedy players, who do we trade? Myers, Pearson, we keep Chase on because he won't get us anything. Yeah, with speed, is team speed an issue? I don't know. I think we need one more scorer and more defense. That's what I think. But speed doesn't hurt for sure. Speed doesn't hurt for sure. Hey, Vidal. Yeah, I have nice camera, got nice setup, nice mic, got strong Wi-Fi. Well, I'm wired actually, but I'm still figuring out how to play with the camera settings. And I thought I was fully charged. Oh, well. As long as you can hear me, that's more important. And it just looks like a robot. Justin, what are your thoughts about Podkolzin and Hoglander in the doghouse lately? A lot of people want to see them. Yeah, I did not like the deployment of Lamico and Highmore in overtime where you should be trying to win and not trying to defend. Yeah, we'll see. I think it was also how they lined up the lines too, in that Podkolzin was playing with Bailey and Dowling, so he was a 4th liner. And then when you shrink the bench to 3 lines, then he's kind of the victim. Hoglander only got 10 minutes. Yeah, I would like to see them. Maybe Boudreau just needs to see more of them, given that they're the youngest players on the team, least experience, and Boudreau maybe wants to really rely on his veterans right now. McDavid's the NHL's golden boy. Funk you. Did you ever find out what happened to that poor kid? Yeah. Thank you for asking. He was fine. I've messaged him. He said he was fine. He said he was talking. He just the connection was bad, and he assured me that he did not get in trouble. Yes, Miller was hooked, and he was really upset. Sick. I saw that. Vids, how about a Pogi Boy Nut page on Asian Avenue, apartment 107? And we have a new subscriber, DSS Gaming. Thank you for your subscription. Asian Avenue. I think my name was Sushi Master on there. FMD. Hi, Clay. How would you rate Alvin's scout and draft record with Pittsburgh? Who are the best draft picks he's helped scout? That's a good question because someone else on my video today said that he didn't think that Alvin had the best drafting record, best scouting record. So I actually did not look it up before I made my video today. So let's say Pittsburgh Penguin draft picks. Okay, I'm going to look at this real quick. Draft history. So 2016, Philip Gustafson. Yeah, 2017, no one's played. 2018. Wow. You look at the Pittsburgh draft history since 2016. There's only been 3 players that have played in the NHL. Yikes. Okay. I did not make a point of that. That's a really interesting. And granted, some of these, they don't pick that high. Oh, and they've only had 1 first rounder in those. Wow. The Pittsburgh have only had 1 first rounder since 2016. And it was a guy named Samuel Poulin, who still plays in the queue right now. And that's fascinating. So obviously, if you only have 1 first round pick in 6 years, you're lessening your chance of getting a guy to play in the show. Wow. I'm glad you brought that up, FMD. I did not know that. Seek, did you hear the report that Bimjo was working on trading Besser before getting fired? No, I did not hear that report. LA and Ottawa were kicking tires. RJ, no problem, Vids. Last year, they released the Lunar New Year jersey a day or so on fan base of leftover to the jump hut, but The Made in Canada warm-up was the 888 price range. Yes, and we can ask Trevor about that for sure. Okay, I better speed up a little bit. Alvin might bring some draft lottery luck, says Bruce. Marcus says, should we claim Connolly? I don't think so. See if Brackett was still here. Do you think he would be in the Canucks GM? Good chance. Justin, did you see the Dell hit on Batherson? Long-term ankle injury. Hall hit. Yeah, the Dell one was silly. The McKinnon one, I think, was just bad luck because Hall, that hit was clean. It was the stick, McKinnon's own stick, that hit himself in the face, which was unfortunate. Who's back tomorrow? Well, they're saying it'll be Garland and Halak for sure. And then maybe it's Demko and Horvat on Saturday. Jaskrin says Bester should know he hasn't done much to expect to raise. That's fair. Fillmore, since JR and Alvin were from Pittsburgh, do you think they can be great trade partners with that former team? Yeah, I don't think just because of that, but they certainly know who's in that organization. Funk you, what a shame we could have had Chikrin over Ulevi. Imagine talents on D. Do you think we have the right piece to make Arizona an offer? Yeah, are we going to trade with them again, though, after such a rim rocker with 9th overall pick, Erickson, Beagle, Roussel for Garland and Ekman Larson? I don't know. Marcus said they want to trade anyone. I hope it's not anyone from our fourth line. They've been insane. They've been good, although their possession numbers weren't good yesterday, but no one's were. How much is Spencer Markey? Well, I'm sure he's on whatever his pro contract is. Yeah, that's a good question. I think he's making more than $5,000. I don't know, Tyler, how much he'd make, because let's see. I actually have Vancouver Canucks salary up right now. Spencer Martin makes $800,000 for the season, prorated, of course. Pick up Lawson Krause. He's okay, Marcus. I don't know enough about him. I know the name for sure. Tell me more about him. Yes, saw what happened to McKinnon. Trevor is unfortunate. Chicken is out of our price range. Yes, we need a pure goal scorer. I'd like that, Jaskrin. Shannon, cannot wait for the chat with Trevor. I've not heard of him. Yes, we're going to all learn about him. Best reason been playing up to 5.8 this year. Yes, his actual salary is 5.8. Cal, maybe you'll answer this later, but how do you land Trevor Lim with an interview? Actually, through Jason. Jason Lim, Van City Experts. He is known Trevor he grew up with him, so he was the one who connected us. So I'm grateful for that as well. Bailey has been fine. He's been okay. He's fast, but he doesn't have any finish. But he certainly creates opportunities. Six says, I see Miller as being a Burt type of guy, as he's from Pittsburgh after all. What package do you think makes sense other than Marino, Poulin, First, and Joseph? Well, yeah, there you have a decent player, first rounder. Yeah, I'd have to look. But yeah, you need a first, a prospect, and then a decent player. Is Poulin going to be good, Seek? I don't know much about him. Fangirl, when Halak comes out of protocol, does Martin go back to Abbotsford? No, it'll be Halak and Martin will be your two, and then DiPietro will be on the taxi squad. Your COVID's gone. That's awesome. NHL Canucks. Okay, I'm going to have to go questions only because I want to be caught up in the next couple minutes. Horvat will play on Saturday. DSS Gaming, everything's fine. No problem. Take care, Brian. Pittsburgh keeps retooling. Thank you, Terry Ann. I appreciate it. God bless you too. Yeah, Marcus, the jerseys would be awesome if they're 888 or even 8888 and not 888. Yeah, where has Arsenal been? I hope he's okay. Do you think Benning or Green will ever open up in what went on earlier this year? Yeah, when the time is right. When the time is right. Should we claim Sami Niku? I don't think so. Thoughts on Cervelli saying that he predicts Miller will not re-sign in 2 years. I think that's fair, and I think that makes sense. So I think the Canucks, there's no rush to trade him. If they don't trade him this year, they could trade him next year. Mott will be replaced by Lockwood, but do you think Highmore and Lamico are re-signed? I think Highmore's here for RFA. I think he's only $725. I do think that you look at Lamico and Highmore and bring them back because they're only making $750, $725 this year. Linda gave my sister a hat. Nice. Halak will be starting tomorrow most likely at the same time. Everyone knows he's already 8 games. I know there's some people that saying you can trade him now because of Martin and then not trigger that bonus, or at least just don't let him play. Just incredible. I think Kel McCarr is indeed the odds-on favorite to win the Norris for sure. Poulin is Pittsburgh's top prospect. No soothsayer. Yeah, me neither. I hope Demko tests negative so you can come out of protocol. Me too. Okay, I'm just gonna fire up this meeting, so then when Trevor comes in, I'll be ready for him. I'm excited. I'm excited to have Trevor come on. Okay, so that is almost ready to go. So whenever I see Trevor come in the waiting room, I'll be able to bring him in. Okay, so I have that going on the side. Let's keep on going. Clay, giveaway for a t-shirt. Go for it if you want, for the Lunar New Year t-shirt. Wait, do you have one? Okay, Jason, we'll come back to that at the end. Maybe text me, but Trevor is now in the waiting room, so I'm going to do all this stuff where I can share my screen. Hi, Trevor.
Hi there.
Okay, hold on. Let me just get you on my screen.
Okay.
Okay. I think you are there. Wow. Thanks for being here. People in the chat, can you see and hear Trevor okay? Can you just talk again, man?
Hello, everyone.
Okay. It sounds like, so a lot of people, there's 60 people in here right now. Good. They can hear you and see you. That is awesome. So let's do this, Trevor. I would love to, if I can borrow half an hour of your time, we'll go 20 minutes or so just getting to know you, the story behind the jersey, and then we'll save about 10 or 15 minutes at the end to ask some questions. Does that work?
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Good.
So welcome. Before we get into your story, were you at the NHL All-Star Game in San Jose in 2019?
Of course. Yes, I was with BOOMi.
I think I met you. I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I know that I was walking around and checking out the exhibits, and then someone introduced me to you. Do you have any affiliation with the Upper Deck?
Upper Deck? No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Yeah.
Okay, but I remember seeing BOOMi, and I remember meeting the guy that was with BOOMi, so that likely could have been you.
I think it's probably me. Yeah, I think I'm the only official companion to BOOMi. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. You're not BOOMi though.
No, I can neither deny or confirm that I am BOOMi. Yes.
Okay, well, I don't want to get you in trouble. So Trevor, welcome. This is my Canucks community here on YouTube, as you know, and as you know, I'm good friends with Jason, and I told everyone that Jason is the one who connected you and me, which is awesome. Yeah. So maybe before we get into the whole Lunar New Year jersey, inspiration, all that, just tell everyone a bit about yourself. And there's no rush. Take your time. Say as much as you want, man.
Oh boy, I don't know. It's awkward when you put me on the spot to talk about myself. I'll keep it short, but sure. Lifelong Canucks fan, like a lot of you here. And, I was really fortunate to be able to work with the Canucks on this Lunar New Year jersey project, but it's been years in the making. I think I really, want to share the idea and the inspiration of, whatever your dream is, go out there, take that first step and, really try to make it reality. And I think you're a great example of that. The fact that we're even doing a live stream and the fact that I agreed to this at 10:30 p.m. I had a family dinner and, I was like, I got to do this interview. And, I'm choosing this over, a fun, evening out is like a testament to how much I believe in, just following your dreams and, really dedicating yourself to that.
Well, Trevor, I thank you. You're so humble, yet you're so giving and selfless that way. That yes, everyone. He cut short a family dinner. I believe, I don't want to spoil, but I think you're flying out tomorrow. Is that right?
I'm flying out tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm basically getting the last of your good time here. You cut short a family dinner, have to pack all that cool stuff, and you're spending time with the Canucks community here. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And let me make it clear, like my family, I'm still gonna see them all day tomorrow. It's fine. I was with my uncles today, and we had a great time. And they were respecting. I think there's something to be said about like if you have responsibility to whatever your dream is or whatever your work is. I think if you spend the time, with the people that are special to you, if they understand. And, like I said, I've got all day tomorrow and I'm going to continue to spend that quality time. There are no media commitments tomorrow for sure. So you're my last media commitment for
wow.
Sure.
Well, thank you for calling me media, even though I respect the job that those guys do. But thank you. Yeah, this is going to stay up for perpetuity on my YouTube channel. So before we
I gotta be careful then. Yeah, all right.
So before we get into the jersey itself, can you tell us a bit about your work with? Is it called Up Studios?
Yes. So, I mean, I founded an animation studio 10 years ago. We just literally celebrated our 10th anniversary a few days ago. And, you know, by celebrate, I mean, I looked at the calendar. I was like, wow, 10 years. It's like one of those things where the time really flies. And we've been so fortunate, you know, anything to last 10 years, I think is quite exceptional. And especially in the animation and entertainment industry, I think that's, you know, quite special. So we've just passed that milestone. And what we do is we create original animated series. So the reason that we would have met in San Jose is because I created a character called Super BOOMi. And he is one of the most popular characters in Greater China, but also he's been broadcast in Canada and also in France, in Singapore. So, you know, he's a character I created, which if you just Google BOOMi hockey hero, for example, you'll find all these clips that we did with the NHL, including at the All-Star game. And I'm really proud of BOOMi. And, you know, that's kind of like how I created this animation studio. And we make 3D animation, but also we make like really cool partnerships. So I've designed products for over 100 hotels in China, for example. And so, you know, we're just really lucky. We get to work on some really cool projects. And my job is kind of just think of really cool ideas every day and try to find a way to make them come to life.
And I keep saying before, and we're already getting some questions. Justin, hang on to your question. But yes, we'll get to your questions at the end. But so hang on to your questions. Don't type it in because I don't want to lose them. But Justin, I'll get you to retype yours in about 15 minutes, and I'll get to yours first. I promise. Before we get into this jersey that you're wearing, that you're rocking right now, how did you get involved with the NHL in the first place?
Well, you know, great question. That was a thing where I really, again, kind of say like try to take the bull by the horns. So the China Games came to China in 2017. And like a diehard fan, I bought my tickets at full price. And I went to the game. And when you know, just prior to the game, the Canucks and the LA Kings. So I believe Bo Hovrat was there. And he was at the pre-game, and Adrian Kempe, if I remember correctly, was also there. So I happened to know that they were going to be at this event. So I went there, I went to the event, and I introduced myself very briefly to whoever was there. And I basically told them, hey, listen, I'm the biggest Canucks fan in China. I'm pretty sure of that. And even if I'm not, I'm the only one who owns an animation studio. And I would love to work with the league or the team and just try to build the sport in China. This is 2017. We're talking almost a full 5 years before the Winter Olympics, which are coming up in a few days.
Yes.
And I had this thought that like if we can build up the popularity of ice hockey, it's going to be great for the country, but also great for the sport and great for the league. And so that was kind of the first conversation we had. And then, you know, I was very lucky to be able to meet Henrik Sedin in his final season. I did an interview with him. I don't think we've ever broadcast the interview in North America, but we broadcasted in China. I did a great interview with him. What an amazing leader and what a gracious gentleman. And, you know, I got to talk to him. I got to talk to Bo. And, you know, it was just really wonderful to be able to make this content, share it with millions of new viewers in China. And to put into context, at the time, maybe the most popular video in China about ice hockey at the time might have been 20,000 views. Our videos had, you know, 1 million, 2 million views. These interviews, which are, you know, frankly, again, kind of relatively dry, right? We're not talking about highlight clips. It's like me interviewing these players. But because we put them on our Super BOOMi channel, you know, we have a huge audience. And so I think that really helped break down the doors. So afterwards, you know, the NHL was in China and we had a meeting, and I basically just told them, you know, what if we created a show that would, you know, help bring the sport of hockey to youth and to kids, and use BOOMi as the main sort of family ambassador, if you will. Right. And they really liked the idea. So again, completely to their credit, they said, hey, why don't you create this show for us, and we'll work together to support it. And so I created Super BOOMi Hockey Hero. which in China now has almost 60 million views.
Wow.
So if you go to look at any ice hockey video in China that's not BOOMi, I guarantee you it's not 60 million views. So it really is the most popular hockey content you can find in the entire country. And then they liked it so much, they've even put like an English version on YouTube. So you can find that on YouTube. And we really made it, again, it's like a labor of love. And I love the sport so much. It's brought so much joy to myself, and I'm sure all of your viewers and you as well. And I just thought whatever I can do with my company and my creative abilities to spread the love of the game, I think it's wonderful. And then of course, at the end of the day, I'm a huge Canucks fan. So I think all of that is to say, when it came to this jersey project, I felt like it was just destiny kind of coming together for us to work together.
Beautiful story. So what you're saying, Trevor, is I should just type in, put in BOOMi in my video description and title, and it's going to automatically jack the views?
I hope so. I hope so. You can definitely do that. I was hoping you would just put Clay and it would jack the views of BOOMi. Isn't that how this is supposed to work?
Yeah, I've been trying that for 10 years. I don't think that's how it works. Hey, what is BOOMi, by the way?
Okay, so BOOMi, I should have listen, it's so funny because people like assume as I do all these interviews, but I'm really not usually like super promotional. Yeah. I just, just like talking about things that I'm passionate about, but I should have prepared like a BOOMi doll or something, but I'll just show you just off my iPad because it's right beside me.
Sure.
But BOOMi is basically a character I created to be kind of like the Mickey Mouse of China. So if you think about this, Japan has so many famous characters. You can think of Pokemon, Super Mario, like all these characters that were created in Japan. But if you think about China, really, there's not an IP that you can think about where you're like, oh yeah, that was created in China, but I love that IP in Canada. Whereas Super BOOMi, has been airing on Treehouse since 2018, I believe. And so, there are actually a lot of kids in Canada who know who BOOMi is. And then in France, last year it started broadcasting on the biggest, online network there. And so, BOOMi has an audience in France, which is the French version of the show. And here's a quick sketch. I gave this sketch to a fan, so I'll just show this to you. This is what I have on my iPad here. But let's see, BOOMi there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
As you go a bit closer. There. Perfect.
Here we go, BOOMi.
Ah.
That's what BOOMi looks like.
How come he's wearing Boston Bruins colors, man?
Well, listen, these are NHL colors. These are NHL neutral colors. These are neutral colors. I'm very sensitive. Although listen, I met Pasternak, and Pasternak's a nice guy.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Pasternak's a nice guy, and he shares 88, which is the number of BOOMi.
Of course.
So I feel like anyone can be kindred souls in this game.
That it's funny. Everyone in the chat knows that I always end off all my streams with a bad dad joke, and then I say "booyah" because I'm 47 years old. I'm not cool enough to say "booyah," but I still say it. But tonight, in honor, I'm going to end off with "BOOMi." I think I have to.
Oh wow, that's a huge honor then.
By the way, and then before we get into the jersey now, for real, someone said, "Are you the one who taught Petey how to say ni hao?"
Yes, I am. I am. Wow. Hey, shout out to you for remembering that video. Thank
you. It was someone named Kel in the. He says, "Oh, Trevor was the one who taught Petey ni hao at the 29 All-Star game." It just clicked for me.
That's right. Very good, Kel. Thank you.
Okay, floor is yours. Tell us the story. I know there's been some wonderful social media about this, but we want to hear it from your mouth directly. Tell us the story about this jersey.
Well, I'll start from where the personal side came in. I've been in China for now 16 years. And, but I grew up in Vancouver, and this anti-Asian wave that has been hitting, all of North America, but especially Vancouver, it was kind of like crazy because it was like so close to home. And I was like, what? Such a diverse province and city. How could we be struck by such a plague? And it really hurt me to see all these instances. And because I had the relationship with the Canucks, we just happened to be talking, about projects. And again, to their credit, they were like, hey, we'd like to do something to show our support to the community. What can we do? And I knew that they had done Lunar New Year jerseys in the past. In fact, I had bought one previously just to support, anything I thought, whoa, this is like amazing. This is great for the culture, like whatever I can do. I bid on a jersey on auction. And so, I had done that, but I remember thinking, well, if the jersey is just like one night and there's no message behind it, it kind of just like comes and it goes. And, like if you win the jersey, that's kind of it. And I remember thinking, like, why don't we use the night to tell more of a story? And so I talked to them. I said, I would really be honored if I could design the jersey for this year. And, luckily they thought that was a good fit. And I pitched them this idea. I said, well, what if we could change the logo? Wow. If you look at the previous Lunar New Year's, they just, changed the color, but they never changed the logo. And I said, well, what if we could actually change the logo itself? Because I want to represent change in this trend we're going, which is, it wasn't going in a good direction. And I was saying, let's see if the team and, everyone involved can just symbolize that we want things to be different than they've been going the last couple of years. So could I do something to the orca, for example? And they were like, sure. Wow. Incorporate the year of the tiger. And so I started doing some sketches. And, they looked at the first sketches and I give amazing, credit to, let me see if I have, this is Clay, you're getting the exclusive.
Oh, good.
Let me see if I got a sketch. I can see a sketch of this here. Because there's a live stream, I can show this and then feel like, I know this is going to live forever, but I feel like if someone's committed to watch 30 minutes of content, I think they just
at 11 o'clock on a weeknight. Yes, for sure.
Exactly. There you go. So like I'll give you a real quick glimpse and then I'll take it down immediately. but it's like for example, like I had different sketches of like, oh, there you go.
The closer the better. Yes.
Okay, here, boom. Okay, then it's gone. So then like I had all these sketches of like the tiger working within the orca, and the entire organization was like, wow, this is really cool. And, Michael Doyle specifically, I had heard it given this great feedback, which he said, we really want to support this, this cause. And can you go further? Can you push this further? And once I heard that, I really thought, wow, this is so amazing. This team I grew up loving and cheering for is really being supportive of what I'd like to do with this. It's not for me, I've got a company to run, I'm the CEO of Up Studios. We have a lot of projects and we have millions of fans. And this is something I've taken out of like completely out of our schedule just to do this thing because I'm so passionate about changing the conversation regarding, the Asian community and around the world, but starting from our home. And, for the Canucks to be so supportive from top to bottom meant a lot. And so I went back to the drawing board. I said, okay, so now that I've got this clean slate, what can I do? And I thought, what if we transform the orca into a tiger? Like that would be kind of groundbreaking. And then once I decided that, then I was like, oh no, how do I make an orca into a tiger? Kind of like, what have you gotten yourself into? Because it's like the animals look nothing alike. And, I really tried to challenge myself and say, well, if we have to maintain the silhouette of the orca, because I'm coming from the perspective of a lifelong Canucks fan. So I think one of the reasons the fan base has responded so well to this design is I truly treat it first and foremost as an exercise of a Canucks fan, a hockey fan first. And then I add in all of the great messages and all the things that I want to achieve together. And it's an integration. It's not about one, winning over the other. It's truly about an integration. And when I presented my thesis about this entire project, I said it's about the Chinese community and the Asian Canadian community and the community at large, all integrated. There's not this separation or superiority of one over the other. It's like, let's share this together. And that's where I came from with this design. And it was even in my brief, I said it's about unity.
Yes.
And so once I came up with that concept, it made it easy because my only challenge was a graphic and artistic challenge, which was how can I make a tiger fit into the shape of an orca? That was my only challenge. And I thought, well, listen, this is my job, to be able to come up with a solution. So I drew about 80 different versions until I got to the final version that you see, on this jersey here.
Oh,
which is, I'm really proud of it because it was the result of all this iteration, all of this, exploration to make it work. But it fits perfectly inside of the orca. In fact, there is lots of details that I would love for fans to go back and look closer at. For example, the whiskers on the tiger, I made them line up with the teeth of the orca.
Can you show us again?
Oh, yeah, sure. So, here, the whiskers of the tiger, if you match that up to the original orca logo of the Canucks, the grinning teeth of the orca will line up with the whiskers that I've drawn on the tiger.
That's wow. Even a small detail like that. No wonder it took you 80 drafts. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, those are the types of things that I feel like you might not even consciously notice.
Yeah.
Like you might not even know it, but I've just been doing design for so long that I feel like you can feel it. You can just feel it like, oh, I know that, or, that feels good, or that looks good. And I think that's why one of the things I'm most proud of is I said unity is one of the things that I wanted to achieve. If you look at NHL, the way that they've spread it on Twitter and Instagram, if you look at all the comments, 99% are incredibly positive, and these are fan bases across the continent. Yeah. I got Minnesota Wild fans saying, "Can you design our jersey?" I've got Raptors fans saying, "Can you do basketball jerseys?" It's just uniting everyone, and that's what we need. That's how we're going to solve, I think, this larger issue that we're trying to solve. So this is one small step in the right direction, I think.
Well, I love the message then of unity between the animals and within the design, the message of change, especially working with eliminate hate and the whole thing about anti-Asian hate and racism. Wow, and then there's three, right? There's change, there's unity. I thought there was one more kind of overarching
leadership. Leadership. It's about taking that proactive leadership. Yeah. So, I think, for example, one of the reasons it was so important that the Canucks took this step forward is they're a leader in the community. They're such a powerful brand. They're such a powerful driver of passion in this marketplace, right?
Yes.
I think the fact that for them to do it versus, let's just say if I was an artist here and I was trying to do, start some sort of artistic, project, it's a huge difference. And I think that the fact that they reached out and they took that leadership role, I embedded that leadership into this image of a tiger leaping out of the water. I think that also shows strength. It shows that sort of initiative to say, I want to lead the charge and I want to lead the change. And that's powerful. So I think that's, again, another part of that whole puzzle where it feels really powerful. If you look at the tiger in the logo, I think people really relate to it and they feel like, wow, that's a really strong symbol. I want to be a part of that.
Wow. So cool. So unity, change, leadership, strength, proactive, initiative, all those things. It resonates with me too, not only as a Canucks fan, Trevor, not only as so I'm making you a honorary member of my GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. That goes without saying.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. And then I'm Year of Tiger, so I'm turning 48 this year. I wish I was turning 36, but I'm turning 48. So it's so good. And all the comments right now, NHL Canucks saying, tell me you can only do these things for the Canucks, no giving nice looking things to other teams. So I want to ask one more question about the design, and then I want to talk about how people can even get their hands on it. Before we get that, can you hold the jersey up one more time? What about is there any significance to the swirl?
And when I understood that, I thought, well, if we're going to create change, ice is a very static, it's a very a hard material. Well, if we turn it into water, it's like what Bruce Lee said, right? Be like water, my friend. And I thought, well, let's transform it into water. And the beauty of that is that that's what ice was created from.
Yep.
And if you think about, when we look at these issues about racism, if we look at prejudice, I try to go back one step further. And I try to say, it's not us versus them, because we're all people. And that's why, on the shoulder patch, it says, 家人队. and Zhen is the biggest in the middle. We are all people. And wherever they kind of went down the wrong path, they started from the same element, and that element is humanity. So when I look at ice and I thought about ice, well, the element is water. So what if I could break that ice down, take the hardness, the hardness of life? Some people, their hearts are hardened by life and their experiences. What if I can soften that? What if I can melt that down and turn that into water? And so that's how I came up with the idea of the water for the tiger. And then, of course, I matched it up with looking at nature documentaries, and you do see tigers jumping out of shallow water, right?
Yeah.
They will run through water in order to catch prey or to achieve an objective. And so, those things, again, worked perfectly in harmony in nature. And I really think that by breaking down the same element, so I didn't change it. I didn't turn ice into fire, for example, right? I just turned ice into water. I returned it to its root. And if we can return any person back to their original humanity, how wonderful is that? To say that you can break down that barrier a little bit and they realize, hey, I don't have that much different from this Chinese person. And, all of these hardened opinions I had, or all these misconceptions I had, or all this misinformation I've gotten, I've been reduced back down to the original element of humanity. And turns out we've got a lot of things in common. There's so many great values that the Chinese community has. For example, family is a great value. Who can say family is not a great value, right? That's returning us back to our elements. So I just think that's kind of how I approached it, is very much, again, back to the idea of unity. I have a few simple ideas. I don't try to overcomplicate them. They're very simple. But I believe these are the ideas that unite us.
You're obviously a very smart person, very articulate, but I just love, like with any good artist, there's meaning to almost everything. There's no detail that wasn't thought through. There's just nothing that you just, okay, I got to fill that space there, so I'm going to draw this. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Not at all. And in fact, I think, part of it, again, comes from, I'm a lifelong fan. I treat this as a true honor to work with the Canucks organization.
Yeah.
And I also believe this is an opportunity to make a difference, right? And I would never waste an opportunity like this. And I think that's one of the things that my company, Up Studios, has been around for 10 years, because I think that our people that I work with really feel that, is that I treat everything like this, as I feel like if we're going to do this together, and, I don't say yes to every project, and this time to do this, I had to fly all the way from China. I'm going back tomorrow. I have to do 21 days of quarantine.
Wow.
21 days of quarantine, and it's not quarantine like here where you can just chill out. It's quarantine, but it's for good reason. I think one of the things that, again, I'll use, this opportunity to share. I've been living in China for 15, 16 years. And I have to say that it's quite open there. It's really, really open. When I go back, aside from the quarantine, life is going to be like normal. And it's been like that for over a year and a half. So when I look at, my friends and my family here, and I see sometimes the struggle that's kind of gone with this sort of like opening and closing and opening and closing, and how taxing that must be on the human spirit. And I have so much empathy for that. And when I'm back in China, I'll tell you, they've got a really good, sort of like a system in terms of trying to help everyone get out of this cycle. And, I think that's part of the whole understanding and breaking down barriers. There's a lot of misinformation just within Canada, but then also abroad, about other countries and what's going on there. So I think this project is just one opportunity to try to break down those barriers, turn that ice into water.
Wow.
And I think that's one of the reasons I was so passionate about this. And I'm so thankful, like, to your audience, to all the Canucks fans, that have supported this project, because it's been really beautiful to see everyone kind of come together.
Now, would you, what's your awareness of how is this jersey, is it available for purchase by the general public?
Well, hey, listen, we're talking the day after the game. Yeah. So I was at the game last night, and I heard I heard that the jersey was sold out in 15 minutes. That's what I heard. So a few different people told me that as soon as the store opened, they were snatched up pretty quickly. But my understanding is a lot of the merchandise around the jersey may still be available online. So there's hoodies, there's T-shirts, there's a mug that I've been drinking out of proudly, which has my design on it.
Nice.
You know, all of these things, you know, I think they're all available. I think the jerseys themselves, part of them are auctioned. So I think last night there was a really successful auction, which they do every year.
Right.
And this year, you know, with the proceeds, part proceeds going to eliminate hate from everything, I think it makes me really proud that, you know, the sales have done so well. So yeah. So my short answer is, you know, they were available yesterday at the game.
Yeah.
And they were available on auction. But I don't know right now how many are still left, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks like I'm looking at the website right now. It looks like you can pre-order T-shirts, hoodies,
hats.
Yeah, and then you can buy hats, mugs, and chains. So, which is a perfect segue into this last part. So I'm gonna, courtesy of Jason, and I know that you and Jason have been friends for many years. Jason and I have been friends for many months, and you and I have been friends for many minutes now. So it works out really well. As a reward for everyone that stuck around, Jason, he's been texting me, and I've been trying not to be rude to him, but he's been texting me as we've been chatting. Okay. He's willing to sponsor a giveaway of some sort of Lunar New Year swag that's obviously designed by Trevor. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to put a link in the chat right now, and then it's the same link that I always use, you guys that have been with me before. We're going to do 10 minutes of quick Q&A with Trevor. Then we're going to let him go. And once Trevor is done, then I will do my famous wheel of names spinning for a winner. You don't have to stick around to the end, but you do got to stick around long enough to fill out the form. So I'm going to type the form address in there. Yeah, Trevor, it's this long, complicated, convoluted thing, but people just love seeing this wheel spin, and we draw the winner live. Okay, so everyone in the chat right now, I just put the Google Doc, the form. Same thing as always: name, YouTube name, email, and phone number. If you want to win something, and we'll figure out what that something is. It's going to be either a hat, a mug, a T-shirt, or a hoodie. No, you don't get to choose what you're going to get. It's whatever we decide to give you. But I know you guys will be grateful anyways, and I'm very thankful to Jason as always for doing it as a friend of Trevor as well. So get your name in that form for the next 10 minutes. I'll leave it open. Trevor and I will talk for 10 more minutes. Then we'll let him go and prepare for his big day tomorrow. And then we will wind up the stream by drawing for that winner. And yes, if you're not in Vancouver, just do it. We'll figure out a way to get it to you. And yeah, so it's fine. This is open to anyone. So again, fill out that form. Even if you're not in Vancouver, we'll figure out a way to get it to you. Okay, a couple questions that have come in already. Justin says, what was the most rewarding thing to you in this entire project? Whether it's the initial design to the finished design, and any favorite stories from last night of people coming up to you and telling you how this has positively impacted them.
Okay, so that's like two questions. So I'll answer the first question. The most rewarding thing, you know, I think is the community response. You know, it's kind of one of those funny things, I'll tell you. Like, you know, when we're kids and we're talking at the back of the class, and we think the teacher doesn't hear what we're saying. The teacher hears everything you're saying. And I think as a creator like me, you know, whenever people comment, I read all the comments. And so, you know, I think once the jersey was launched, I went online right away and I read all the comments. And truly, I was really so touched that I would say 99% of the comments are really positive. Yeah. And they came from the entire spectrum of fandom, you know, from obviously the Asian community. And then a huge amount were just from, you know, hockey fans in general. And then another amount from other non-Vancouver team, you know, fans. And, you know, I had literally, you can go online and read these comments of like, I've been a Habs fan my whole life. Now because of this jersey, I'm a Canucks fan. Like things like that are just so touching for me. And I think the fact that, again, I go back to my original thesis. So my idea was unity was one of my objectives. And when you look at tens of thousands of comments across platforms about this jersey design being largely united, that's unity. Yeah. That's one step towards that direction. So I think that's probably something that really struck me the most. Of course, the second part of the question, going to the game last night when I was wearing the jersey, a lot of people, first and foremost, they complimented the jersey and like, oh my gosh, that's such a cool jersey, or that's such a sick jersey. And then secondly, the question that came right away, are you the guy who designed it? And of course, I was able to talk to some of them. And again, the entire spectrum of the fan base, and people that were genuinely happy and so excited about this design. And that's what I wanted. I think there's such a great message behind it. And if you look at this incredible media response, like generally speaking, again, you probably can't tell from this interview, but I'm usually like a pretty low key guy. Like I try not to do, that much press if I can, because I like to work to be the star. But when I need to, I'm happy to step out in front to represent the cause. And in this case, I did so much media, national media, local media, radio, TV, print. And everyone let me tell the story of why this was meaningful. It wasn't just about a game. It was about, the Chinatown Gateway and the Jiaren Dui, and also the flowers, the pine blossoms, the bamboo I put into that design. They let me talk about the story. And I feel like that's just such a meaningful step in the right direction, right? We all want to have that voice. And if I can give voice to some of these great values that we share as a culture, I think that's a great step in the right direction. So I really thank all the fans that came up and said hi and said, cool jersey. I really remember those moments. And obviously online, as I continue to get likes and things like that on Twitter and Instagram, I really do take those to heart.
Awesome. Thank you. Great answer. And Justin, who asked that question, just donated $20. Thank you, Justin. Says not much. Oh my
gosh. Great.
But his last name is Lai. He goes from one lie to another. So that's no lie. May this be a small portion of donating to a greater change towards anti-Asian hate. Love the design and powerful messages. Thank you, Justin, for that donation. As always, I don't always designate where the donations go to, but I'm doing some work with Eliminate Hate, the wonderful movement that partnered with the Canucks yesterday as well in spreading the message of anti-Asian hate, anti-Asian hate, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yes. Cole, a nice young man from my church community, says, at what age did you decide to get into design?
Oh boy, that's a great question. Well, I started drawing when I was 4. And, I published my first book when I was 17 years old. And so, for me, a lot of it just came from, I always encourage people, it doesn't matter what age you are. I really believe you could be 17 or 57. And if you figure out what it is you want to do, just do it. Like life is too short. Don't wait until the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment.
Right.
And the perfect moment is what you make the perfect moment. So when I was 17, I took that moment and I started doing children's books, and I started touring, at schools, and then I went across the country, and that really laid the foundation for, Up Studios. But in between, I worked at a job. I worked at a corporate job. I was very lucky. I had a great job there, and I did that for 8 years. And then at night, I continued to work on my dream, every year until I said, you know what? I really have to try this Up Studios thing. I think this is the time. I think the world is ready for it. And thank goodness I made that decision 10 years ago. Awesome. If I didn't make that decision, perhaps we would not be talking now in this particular moment. And I would not be wearing this really awesome jersey. I really believe these are all parts of, the cycle of life and destiny. But you really make that destiny. So, to answer the Cole's question is, I was lucky because I knew what I wanted when I was 4. And then when I was 17, I made it happen. But you could decide that tomorrow. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what age you are. I really don't think age is important. I think it's about mentality. But once you make that choice, you got to stick to it. And you have to stick to it even if people maybe don't believe in you in the beginning. You have to prove yourself. Put in the work, and then eventually people will believe in you, just like people have believed in me.
Great advice. And speaking of children's books, Jamie DeFrog says, Trevor was the first book author that my nephew and niece met as a kid in Vancouver. They remember him. That's pretty cool.
Whoa!
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamie. That was awesome.
Hsmfangirl Gaming, another longtime member of the channel, says, would you ever move back to Vancouver?
I get asked that a lot.
Yeah.
I get asked a lot. One of the reasons that I decided to make China my home base is that we are so lucky in Vancouver. We have such a great lifestyle. We have such a great environment. We have such great access to education and entertainment. And I felt like, China, if I could create that environment for tens of millions, of young people, wouldn't that be amazing? Because they'll become global citizens. And these global citizens will travel, and some of them will move to Vancouver, as we know. And so I feel like wherever I can be to have the most influence, and positive influence, is where I should be.
Yeah.
And it just so happens that if you do a good enough job, like I said, BOOMi was on Treehouse, and that allowed me to influence all of Canada, but I did that all from China. And so I really believe when I talk the talk, I walk the talk.
Yep.
I'm over there and I'm creating stories and content that are universally appealing, that have values that all of us can share, whether you're in Shanghai or in Surrey. You can think of these values in the same way. I think that's what's beautiful. So I think in the short term, as far as I can think of, I feel like I've got a lot of work to do there. And yet I'm still able to do great things like this in Vancouver. And if I need to, listen, I'll take the 21 days quarantine. I have to eat that, right? Like that's me, but I'm going to take that just to have made this happen. And it was all worth it, to sit there in the arena last night at Rogers and to have all the fans, and even to see you briefly. It was very brief, but I saw you very briefly. Yeah, fist bump. And Jason came up to talk to me. It means a lot. And I'm happy to do that. And if the Canucks will have me back, next year to do more with them, I would love to do that. I think the community has spoken. I think that, we've done a lot of great things this time that have been really history making. So I hope I get the chance to do that again, in the near future. So I'll be back in Vancouver a lot. Yeah.
Cool. Got time for, we'll do two more questions and then we'll wrap up. Related to that is, and forgive me if you said this, why did you leave Vancouver for China in the first place?
Well, I thought of the opportunity. Yeah. Like I said, what I mentioned in terms of how good we have it in Vancouver, I realized that's not necessarily how great everyone has it. And I thought, if I could use my talents and my ability in another market, in another country, but eventually I could spread that goodness back to my hometown, I felt like that's what I should do. And sometimes like the best route is not the easiest route. I think probably the easiest route would have just been to chill here and just ride, the wave. And I was doing quite well here. But, I took kind of a leap of faith. And, I was able to go there and to try it out. And thankfully it worked out. Awesome. Thankfully it worked out. And that's why, again, I believe in taking sometimes the hard road can be the right road.
And Jason put in the comment, I don't have a question, but I have a comment about Trevor's character. For those who don't know him, I still remember him doing readings at public libraries across BC. And then his message got cut off because I have a 200 character limit, so he'll continue it. But that's pretty cool. Everyone in the chat can continue to read that. One last question from a very thoughtful young man who's named Marcus, who's watching from Quebec. I met him over the break, but he's 3 hours out. So he asked, it's a tricky question, but I don't mind ending on this. He says, he's 18, 19 years old. I have experienced hate from mainland Chinese people at school who said my culture is fake because my family's from Hong Kong and are Canto. As someone who lives in China, how would you react to that, Trevor? He asks.
Well, I think it goes back to what I said about even breaking the ice. I think all of the origin of hate and misunderstanding, it comes from not communicating and not really empathizing with each other at the basic level. So especially if you think about Cantonese and Mandarin, I mean, we're talking about, relatively close. I speak both languages.
Yes.
So I can tell you that, I'm from that sort of shared background, if you will. And I think it really comes down to, if you let the hate define you, I think that's going to make your life very small. I think what's better is if you can define yourself, and you'll find that you'll become a much bigger power, a much bigger spirit, and you can help shape these smaller misunderstandings or these smaller misconceptions. You can shape them. So I think that obviously, when I grew up, I had bullying. I was bullied. I got in fights. I was mostly because I was picked on. And, I didn't let those moments define me.
Yeah.
They hurt me, certainly, and I remembered them. But when I remembered them, I didn't remember them with hate. I remembered them with hurt and confusion. And then I thought, well, how can I channel that? Like, what's really powerful is like channeling that energy and saying, what if I turn that into something so powerful that you can't stop it? So if you think about when I was bullied as a teenager, if I try to fight you back physically, I can't really stop it because there's a limit to my muscles, or there's a limit to like 1 versus 3 or 4, right? There's a limit to that.
Yes.
But if I design something that you love, for a team that you love, boy, that's really hard to fight. And if I write a story that your kids end up loving, if I create a TV show, your kids watch it, that's really, really hard to fight. So I just think, try to, they say if you wrestle with a pig, you're going to get mud on yourself.
Yeah.
And I always try to step out of that battle and be like, listen, can I try to do something that's, more powerful than hate? And, as has been said many, many times before, love is more powerful than hate. Yeah. I created this jersey out of love, and look how powerful that is. Just look online. There's hate online, certainly, but love for at least this project that we've done with the Canucks has been overwhelmingly powerful. And I think that's just a testament to what I'm saying. Don't take just my word for it. I'm trying to tell you that I've proven it over and over and over again in my career and in my life. But just look at this project. Look how much love it's garnered. And just even from our talk today, Clay, just me and you talking now, I think we've probably inspired a lot of great love in your community, and hopefully from everyone who's going to watch this, afterwards in perpetuity, as you said.
Yes.
I hope that we've been able to spread this positive message, because that's really what I try to do every day. And it's certainly not a short journey. It's going to be a long journey, but hopefully a year from now, that when we talk again, I hope that we'll have made progress. And that's really all that you can ask for.
Well, that's a perfect way to wrap. Thank you, Trevor. By the time I do this draw, it'll be another 15 minutes. So I'm going to let you go get back to your family, get back to preparing for your trip. But just want to say on behalf of everyone here and those that are going to be watching this tomorrow and in the future, thank you for sharing of yourself. Thank you for giving your time, and thank you for sharing your time and your talent with not just the Vancouver Canucks, but as we've talked about for the past half an hour, how much it's touched the greater community, not just Canucks fans, but people who believe in that message overall. So for your wisdom, your creativity, your insight, and your time tonight, I'm so grateful to you, and I thank you very much.
Oh, well, again, thank you for having me on the show. I'd like to thank Jason for connecting us.
Yes.
And Jason for being such a great supporter of everything that you're doing with your channel. And I want to thank just one more time, if I want to take this opportunity, just thank all Canucks fans for being so supportive of this Lunar New Year jersey. It's surreal, and it's such an honor to be wearing this. I'm really wearing it for the entire team, as in the community. I love what we're doing for the Asian Canadian community at large with this project. We've raised money, we've raised awareness, but most of all, I think, like I've said, we've created this unity and this understanding, which is really great. I want to thank my family for their support, and the Canucks organization for being so wonderful as partners. I really believe that they've been a great partner for me. And like I said, I hope I get a chance to work with them again.
Awesome. Well, a lot of love and respect to you from me and from the people in the chat. I sent you the link. You can watch that tomorrow when you're on the plane or whatever. So safe travels tomorrow. Keep up the great work. And I'm going to go track down some BOOMi footage as soon as we're done here.
Yes, please. BOOMi Hockey Hero.
Okay, BOOMi Hockey Hero. Great. Thanks for everything, Trevor. Take care of yourself.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Clay.
Good
Thanks,
night.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And there we go. There we go. Okay, so what I need to do is now I gotta get this this contest going. So in the chat, talks amongst yourselves. Give me 2 or 3 minutes. You can write your thank you to Trevor as you've been doing. I'm gonna try and encourage him to rewatch this, at least read your comments. So if you have any other questions or if you want to give your impressions, I know many of you are. Some of you more outspoken than others, which is fine. That's what I love about this community, for sure. And just keep it constructive. That's all I ask. And meanwhile, I'm going to spend 2 minutes to get this draw ready. We are going to be drawing for 3 items, courtesy of Jason and his generosity. So I have to get this Google sheet ready. And of course, my wheel of names ready. So go ahead and talk amongst yourselves for the next 2 or 3 minutes. I just got to download this form. And then we will be ready to go. This is the part where you hear me clicking madly, trying to get everything going. Oh, I don't even need 2 minutes. I'll be fast here. Oh, by the way, actually, I got a funny story for you. Do you remember on the stream last week when I did the contest of what's different about my wall behind me? And then I told you that when I closed the contest, I deleted the field of what was behind me, and then I thought that I lost all of your answers. Well, guess what? I found them on my spreadsheet. You know, if anyone who uses Excel, you know that the columns start with A, B, C, D, all the way down. The answers were placed in column AH. So 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So about the 34th column to the right. So now I can see some of your answers were there was a new picture, the Sedin the bobbleheads. There's a new picture. There's a new picture. You've added a 4th picture. There's a new picture, different order. So most of you did get the fact that there were 4 pictures. So I just thought it was kind of funny that I found all your answers after all. Okay, enough of that. I don't have to waste any more time. I see the entries. I see, a lot of good entries. Oh, this is awesome. Okay. I see, how many is that? So from 11:02 until 11:17, yeah, that's 15 minutes. That's enough time. We had these many people, 23 entries. Okay, and we're drawing 3. We're drawing 3 winners. So you actually have a really good chance. 3 out of 23, whatever percentage it is. That is pretty good. Save, don't save. Okay. I know it's your favorite. I know this is your favorite. Yeah, and sorry, Edmund, I can't join you because I had to kind of reward the people that were in here. Yes, Justin, you are in there. It's fine. Okay. So I'm going to put it, I know this is your favorite part of the entire thing is when I put the screen up on, so there we go. Those are the 23 names that submitted in time. I won't read all 23, but you can see. And it's better just to find your name on the wheel. I'm sure it's going to be there because, oops, Google form doesn't really mess up already. So I'm not gonna milk this, but some of your comments are pretty funny. Changa, holy, the odds have never been this good for me. Come on, wheel. NHL Canucks, I'm pretty sure. Yes, you are in there. Actually, you know, I should probably. Okay, because Jason said so, I'm gonna put Edmund's name in right now. And Edmund is a member of this channel, so I feel like I'm feeling very generous tonight. Okay. I have school tomorrow, but I don't care. We'll wrap up by 11:30. No, it's already 11:24. No, we'll wrap up by 11:40. I don't think we're gonna go to midnight, Coach Rob, as much as you try and convince me to do so. Okay, so we have 24 entries. I'm going to randomly shuffle 3 times, and then I'm going to draw 3 winners. So the disclaimer here is you don't get to choose what you're getting. And we're going to draw for 3 items, and it's going to be whatever it's in stock. We will ship it to you, whether it's a t-shirt, keychain, puck, or mug, whatever it is. So I know that no one's going to complain, and no, you can't request what you're going to get, okay? You get what you get, and you can't complain because we're shipping it to you for free. Okay, I think that goes without saying. And Marcus, Shannon, I'm lagging because for right now I'm using my nice camera, which I don't think I charged fully, and then for the Zoom I had to use a different camera, so I used my old webcam, which wasn't lagging, but it was that goofy fisheye look. But it's okay, as long as you can hear me, that's the most important thing. And yes, 1 in 24 is basically a 4 to 5% chance. And Marcus, yes, you're up to 230. Marcus, I just want to say I appreciate how thoughtful, how bright you are. I know you're asking good, strong questions, but I also wanted to keep politics out of it for tonight, and I trust that you appreciate that. Okay, that's all I was going to say. Steve, I don't know why you couldn't enter, but I'm going to enter you because I know you've been here since the very start, and I like you, Steve, because I wanted to make it 1 out of 25, so it's nice, easy. Everyone gets exactly 4% chance. So Steve, my horror. Okay, that's it. No more entries. We are good. So I'm going to shuffle this 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Going to grab my pen so I can write down these winners. Lunar New Year. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I know everyone loves the wheel. Yeah, no problem, Marcus. I know you're good. I know I'm good. I know we're good. Okay, here we go. The first winner. Are you guys ready? Type a 1 in the chat if you're hyped for this. Or type in the word hype. I'll wait for 10 more seconds and then I will spin. So type in a 1, type in hype, type in you're the man, type in booyah or BOOMi. Just type in something. Here we go. Here's the first winner right now. I know you guys are excited. The first winner is... It is Zach. And I'm so happy for Zach. Zach is the young man who we phoned last Friday, and and we got cut off. So he's not 10. He's a little bit older than 10, but not by much. So happy for you, Zach. I'm going to remove your name though from the winners now. Yes, Vidal, we are drawing for Lunar New Year swag. Your name's in there. But yes, congratulations to Zach. So Zach, I will email you. Make sure I don't get in trouble. I will get your address. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to email the 3 winners this weekend and then get you to email me your address back. And then I have to then advise you once we get the actual merchandise that Jason and I will determine. Okay. So Zach, congratulations. Here comes number 2 draw. This is exciting. Most exciting part of my streams, I know. Congrats, Jamie the Frog. I don't even know what that main name means, but I do know that you left a wonderful comment about having your niece and nephew get your book signed by Trevor many, many years ago. So congratulations to Jamie to Frog. Sorry, Chonger, I know you're not winning, even though the odds are really good. Yes, and Zach convinced me that he's not getting in trouble by subscribing to me or watching my streams. Yeah, no, Chonger, everyone here is having a good time. Okay, so Jamie the Frog's out. I will email Jamie the Frog. And here comes the last one. Rumor has... NHL Canucks. I hate this wheel. What, YouTube has its own wheel? I didn't know that. No, this is Wheel of Names. This is my website. I've been using this for years. For those of you that have been with me since the very start, I've been using this for many years. I use it for all the hockey pools I'm in to number 1. Okay. So a lot of people are mad at this wheel. There was one. Okay, I'll spin in 30 seconds. There was one though. I think it was It was after my live stream, my 24-hour live stream, where people could do multiple entries, up to 18 entries. No. It wasn't even that. It was, I think it was an Instagram giveaway where there were so many names in the wheel. I don't think it even spun all the way around once. So that was kind of unfair to half the people. Okay, here we go. Last one. I think if you type in BOOMi in the chat, I have a feeling that's going to summon the Lunar New Year spirit. So if you type in BOOMi in the chat, I think you have a better chance of winning. But here we go. FJS Zach, Jamie the Frog, and I'm really happy actually those two people are still in the stream. Wheel Nation sponsor you. Okay, here we go. Last one. This we'll call Super BOOMi. Super BOOMi! Big bucks and no whammies. The winner is Coach Rob. A deserving winner, especially after the shenanigans where he couldn't even get to his game that he won for the 8,000 giveaway. But yeah, don't boo me. Very good. But I just want to point out, Kel, you're very close. Sorry. Cole, M, all the way in Australia. Steve, late entry. Chonger, just 2 away. This is probably not making you feel any better. But thank you guys. And congratulations once again to FJS Zach, to Jamie the Frog, and to Coach Rob. I will email all of you and we will figure it all out. I know I'm lagging a little bit, but don't worry. I will figure it out for next stream. Okay. I think I'm going to wrap up here. We're right at 11:30. Once again, I want to give a shout out to these 1-year members: Justin Credible, Andrew Chang, Lucas Gates, nucksfan number 29, Jens95, simalexander, Jarhead, and Parker's Pucks. Thank you for your support, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels, of course. As we wrap up tonight, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the wonderful. Look at all the comments going crazy. Thank you for the thank yous, but mostly thank you to Trevor for spending 45 minutes with us. Thank you to Jason for connecting me with Trevor, and also for sponsoring the 3 winners tonight. Jason and I, we talk every day as we figure things out. So we'll figure out the best prizes for all of you and when we can get all of that done. And yes, Justin, as I mentioned earlier, he was the one who noticed that the 12-month badge got going. And honestly, you're welcome, M. I used to think the woo sound effect after it was Sean yelling from it. Funk you, that is awesome. By the way, Funk you, we have our first Zoom chat coming up. I will send the link out this Friday for Hall of Fame, Hero, and Legend members to sign up. Okay, I'm going to go back and read all the comments about the wheel. So I think anyone who's won something loves this wheel. Anyone who hasn't is going to curse this wheel. But so many funny things. So thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Jason. Congrats to Zach, Jamie the Frog. Congrats to Coach Rob. Thanks to all of you. On your way out, make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Thanks to the new subscribers. Thanks to Justin for the donation. Thanks to for all of you for liking this video. And thanks for hanging out with me, some of you from the very start, for an hour and a half. My next stream is on Friday night live at 11. I'm going to call someone that hopefully I don't get in trouble. Just joking. And then, tell your friends about this. I'm going to type in BOOMi and like all the YouTube tags and see how this video does later. But in all seriousness, this was a really fun night. We barely talked about the Canucks, but that's okay. A big day. Patrick Alvin, the new general manager for the team. And I'll check in with you on Friday. Canucks play in Winnipeg tomorrow night, hopefully with at least Halak and Garland, and maybe Thatcher Demko makes a surprise appearance as well, but he's got to get tested negative and then make his way out to Winnipeg. So we'll see what happens. But overall, so many funny stuff in there. Okay, I better get going. So once again, subscribe if you'd like to, like this video if you'd like to, become a member or upgrade if you'd like to. Hall of Fame Hero Legend, I'll be contacting you later this week about signing up for our Zoom chats for Sunday and beyond. And aside from that, get ready for yet another wonderful dad joke. So stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. A pun walks into a room and kills 10 people. Pun in, intended. Pun intended. Pun intended. God bless, and go Canucks go. BOOMi.